Once upon a time, there was a lot riding on Desert Warrior. The English-language period epic, made by a Hollywood director and featuring some globally recognizable stars, was intended as a calling card for a Saudi Arabian film industry hoping to put itself on the map. They went big, reportedly to the tune of $150 million, which would be a significant sum anywhere. But it was shot more than 4 years ago. After fighting through post-production troubles, the film is finally releasing wide in US theaters without much fanfare. Having seen it, I'd wager that's unfortunately because the final product didn't merit all that effort. Though it's an often beautiful showcase for the Arabian desert landscape, Desert Warrior is a slow, awkward jumble, trying so hard to be cool and lacking any of the style or charisma to pull it off. The climactic battle has some redeeming qualities, but after waiting 90 minutes to see it and finding it so choppily edited as to be distracting, the prevailing feeling I carried with me after it ended was still disappointment. Poor execution in almost every phase made Desert Warrior an epic misfire. As explained in some fairly uninspired opening titles, the film is set 1,500 years ago, when pre-Islamic Arabia and its divided tribes were grappling with Iran's Sassanid Empire. To consolidate power, Emperor Kursa II, Ben Kingsley, broke an old taboo, demanding that each tribe's king send their daughters to serve as his concubines. When Desert Warrior begins, the Lakhmid king Al-Numan, Ghassan Masoud, and his daughter Princess Hind, Aiysha Hart, are suffering the consequences of refusal. They are being chased across a deadly section of the desert by the Emperor's commander Jalabzin, Charlton Copley. Just as their luck is about to run out, they cross paths with a lone bandit, Anthony Mackie, who agrees to help them on the promise of the last of their gold. They make it to the lands of another tribe, the Banu Shayban, who anger the commander by putting them under their protection. This decision starts a chain of events that will eventually spark conflict between the Sassanid Empire and several Arab tribes, who must set aside their differences to face this common enemy or risk becoming their dominion entirely. The bones of a great epic are undeniably there, and director Rupert Wyatt stakes his claim early by reaching for the mythic imagery of westerns. As an approach, it makes sense. Under the lens, the desert rock formations conjure some of the same feelings as the American West, and Mackie's Bandit has the makings of a no-name drifter antihero. Desert Warrior's cinematography is often lovely. It seems like there's a striking image every few frames. As it was conceived, this movie could have worked. Everything is just so off. The actors aim for brooding or grand, and come off muted, but it's hard to know whether to blame our lack of investment in their characters on their performances or the script's general flatness. On paper, they have plenty of compelling motivations, but somehow none of them have any emotional charge. The editing is all around poor, the rhythm scene to scene is stilted and awkward, failing to generate any momentum, and Desert Warrior commits the mortal sin of action filmmaking by cutting up its fight scenes within an inch of their life. There were reports of multiple re-edits during the film's post-production delays, and that's palpable in the final film, though I have a hard time believing this was the best anyone managed. I have to give the filmmakers some credit for the Battle of Dhi Qar, the major sequence that serves as the story's climax. It's clear from the sudden presence of tension that this is what most excited everyone involved, and there's an undeniable thrill in watching thousands of real extras bring it to life. But as much as there are some creative moments, the editing makes it hard to appreciate any of the combat. Whatever works about it is far outweighed by the awareness of how much better it could have been, had it been executed properly. Though no disaster, Desert Warrior is probably the last thing its producers wanted from their blockbuster spend, a mostly boring, mostly forgettable movie.